Well, now I am making my descent. I got about 10 miles back down to the trailhead, and it's already 3:30 in the afternoon. I better get a good pace going, because I'm not trying to get caught up here after dark. Just gotta make sure I have the right path to get down the mountain. I think I came from this way. I just want to make sure. Very good hike. Just, I think that maybe I either overpacked or didn't get enough rest, which is how it feels to me right now. Let's see, make sure there's not another path. It's always be good to be sure of where you're going from whence you're coming. Alright, so I just want to make sure I was on the right path. So you know where you're going. Now, time to make my descent. Parting shot. Well, kind of hard to see through the trees, but there's Toro Peak, 8,716 feet. Even if it were open, the Indian reservation didn't have qualms about people hiking there. I don't think I would be able to make it. I'm very tired, and I still got 10 miles to go, so just got to bide my time. 90% downhill, thank God. So that should be able to give me a much quicker pace. I'll try to see if I can get down before 7:30 or 8. It's about 3:30, 3:40, and since it's mid-May, today's Saturday, May 13th. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and to my mother, happy Mother's Day. The sun sets a lot later now that we're in the middle of spring, technically. So just keep that in mind. Timing, sunrise, sunset, pace, physical ability. Keep that all in account if you're going to attempt to hike like I did all the way from Highway 74, where you saw the first video, or the first segment of the video, to when I was up by Desert Steve Ragsdale's old cabin remnants. I probably added in probably about a quarter to a half a mile extra for going to both summits. Like I said, I was so tired when I got to the slightly lower summit. I was thinking I'm not gonna make it to Desert Steve Ragsdale's former cabin site and actually be on the top of Santa Rosa, because I felt so out of it. But what I did was went back down to some of the campsites, took my heavy backpack and just put it on one of the picnic tables, just grabbed my Powerade and just went up to the top. It's really close. It would be a huge shame for me not to actually summit the actual peak, which I believe was a little bit higher than the cross-country scramble to the first peak. I just felt a second wave of motivation and figured it's time to do it. Glad I did. Very glad. I'm feeling a lot better right now, especially now that I'm on a gentle decline. I know I will have a nice long uphill stretch when I get down to the chaparral portion. So I remember having a long stretch of downhill hiking. So now I have that to look forward to, but other than that, it's all gently downhill like this. This is not a steep path. It's really not that steep. I'd say it's pretty close to what Indian Truck Trail is in the Santa Ana Mountains when I did Santiago Peak from Temescal Valley. But for some reason today, I don't know, my body just wasn't having it today. I've actually felt like a chore hiking up to Santa Rosa, but I'm really glad I made it. That's what it's all about. Challenging yourself and hiking. This is why I hike, and this is why I encourage other people to hike, because it is a great experience. And I'm glad that my first hike in the Santa Rosa Mountains was a success. Just getting to the Santa Rosa Mountains was a chore. Driving on Highway 74 all the way from Interstate 15, then getting turned around because between Interstate 15 and Interstate 215, Highway 74 turns. It doesn't go straight. Somehow I missed it. Got all jumbled around. 5 o'clock in the morning, getting all frustrated. So what I did is somehow made it to 215, went a very short distance, then got on 74 East, rode through Hemet, well, Menifee, Hemet, all the way up to Mountain Center, Garner Valley, and the Pacific Crest Trail is not that far down the road from where I parked, which this is again Santa Rosa Mountain Road 7N02. Well, actually this road is a different number. You take 7N02 most of the way up. When I get to that signpost, I will shed light on what road this actually is, but I forget the number of it. I'll find out. It's 8N something, I believe, and I'll let you know. Beautiful mountain range. Once you go south of Toro Peak, it gradually goes down to more desert, and when you get there, that should be very interesting, because there are 2 peaks I want to hike on the southern end of the range, but after overexerting myself today, I want to make sure that I'm on vacation, so I have time to rest up before and after. I want to do Villager Peak and Rabbit Peak from Anza-Borrego Desert State Park, which is supposed to be one of the toughest hikes. Here we go. Got a, I don't know, a red spiny lizard or a western fence lizard. Let me get a little closer and see if I can get an ID on this guy. Giving me some head displays. Yeah, you look like a western fence lizard. Sceloporus occidentalis longipes. Okay. Now, that was the access road to the summit. Now I'm back on the actual Forest Service route. This isn't 7N02. This is the other one, and like I said, once I pass by it, I will mention the name of it. I admit, the upper slopes of this mountain have got some very lush conifer forest. And after all the going back and forth about what variety of white fir this is, I'm, say, 99% convinced that this is Rocky Mountain white fir, because Rocky Mountain white fir has its needles really thick and waxy, In fact, here are a couple of saplings. So this is a different variety than the white fir found in the Sierra Nevada. The needles are very thick and waxy. So I'm pretty well certain that that is Abies concolor, variety concolor. And then I'm seeing some very lush incense cedars here too, Calocedrus decurrens, which is not a pine. It's actually related to the cypress and the juniper and a lot of the other trees called cedar, like western red cedar, Alaska cedar, and so forth. I mean, a lot of the specimens I saw earlier on were a lot smaller. Up here, well above 7,000 feet, we're probably about 7,800 feet right now. We're very lush. Usually, when I go to the San Gabriels, I mean, that's a different mountain range than this. Usually I don't see incense cedars too much above 7,000 feet, except on occasion. But here, we're about 7,800 feet, and these are the largest incense cedars that I have seen today along this stretch up here. Those Jeffrey pines get much larger. We also get some pretty nifty sized sugar pines. And the white firs get a lot more lush around here too. There's a lot of great incense cedars up here. I don't know if I was going to expect to see a lot of them, but a lot of incense cedar. There's a nice young white fir, Abies concolor, variety concolor. Momentarily I'll tell you what forest road we're actually on that junctions with 7N02.